Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Coffee Break, and welcome back to the CoffeeCast ProCast edition, where we have none other than two Protoss behemoths. We have SKMC, formerly OGSMC, spawning on the lower right position of ESL Antigua Shipyard as the red Protoss player, and on the top left side, we do have our awesome blue Protoss player, WhiteRa, spawning as the blue Protoss, which I already just said. Now, WhiteRa obviously has quite a little reputation behind him. His special tactics always can bring something new to the table, but we have seen time and time again, he can also play a standard game and play it well. I do know that his PvZ is super strong. His carrier strategy that I did a game over about a week ago, I believe, very interesting. Also, his favorite is that 6-gate timing push, super strong, even can go up to an 8-gate all-in sometimes. He is very good. Haven't seen too much of his PvP, so it should be interesting to see that. SKMC, one of the best Protosses in the world, but sometimes is accused of being kind of a one-build Protoss player. Wouldn't be surprised to see Blink Stalkers in this game out of him, but he is very good at his builds in each of his matchups, and probably once again one of the best Protoss players in the world. Both players scouting cross positions first is going to find their opponents very quickly. Oh boy, there was something I was going to say about this. Oh yes, I just want to thank everybody who's been tuning in. I have just peaked 5,000 YouTube views. That to me is a huge milestone. I'm very excited about that, and I just wanted to give you all a huge thank you for helping me achieve that point. It is so exciting for me to be bringing this content to you and to be able to do this just cast, which I love doing, bringing all these games out to you guys. It's just so much fun. If you guys have any idea what I should do to celebrate a 5,000th view, please let me know in the comments below, and I will do my best to get on that. And okay, I thought that gas was stolen for a second there. We do have both these players going to go ahead and be taking their second gas geyser. And the first difference in this game, we do have a second gateway coming down out of WhiteRa. No second gateway quite yet out of his opponent. However, once again, both players getting that second gas is a big indicator that there will be no 4-gate. Because nobody likes seeing a 4-gate, and pulling quite a few probes there, and almost losing one of his own to the probe of MC. His probe just being freaking annoying. But fortunately, WhiteRa was able to push that out of the base. And both players not wanting to fall behind on their warp gate tech. I believe that is the second chrono boost. There we go. Lost the word. Second chrono boost for both players on that warp gate. WhiteRa deciding not to throw a third chrono boost down quite yet. Might have just forgotten. There we go. Did just forget that. And that's not going to be too big of a deal. Still no tech for MC quite yet. I'm a little bit surprised. I assume it's going to have to come up soon as he is beginning to stockpile minerals and gas. I would expect to see a robotics facility at this point in time. Indeed, there goes the robotics facility as he begins pushing out across the map with that first Zealot and Stalker. But I think WhiteRa is going to be more than ready for this with a Stalker of his own onto the field and two more about to finish up. That will give him strength in numbers. MC won't be able to do all that much damage with his units. However, MC will have a slightly earlier robotics. This robotics did just get dropped for WhiteRa, and really it looks like both these players going for a fairly similar build. We had MC do a 1-gate robo, probably into a 3-gate robo timing push, as that is super popular in Protoss versus Protoss right now. Very strong. And no, actually dropping a Twilight Council, so probably just using that to maybe to get an observer, maybe an immortal or two if he so feels like it. But that's going to allow him to go ahead and blink onto the high ground. That is what I was mentioning earlier in the game. Even have a sentry out for WhiteRa, just kind of playing it safe right there, is going to be able to force shield that ramp off just in case a big push does come. His own robotic facility finishing up now. The difference, he does not have a Twilight Council coming down on the field. Instead, he is going to be getting the Immortal out. So he's looking to deny any sort of blink harass with that Immortal. Immortal and Stalker against blink harass, obviously very good. Immortal's doing, I believe it's 50 damage versus armored, can kill Stalkers in 4 shots. And that may not sound like much, but trust me, it is pivotal. And we even have a 4th gateway coming out of MC at this point, which it shows it's going to be kind of an all-in out of MC. This could be a quick game if WhiteRa isn't very, very careful with how he plays this. Probably could use to drop another gateway of his own, but no, actually going for one base Colossus. That's a little bit risky. That's quite a tech push off of one base, especially with only 2 gateways and 1 robo to be able to deal damage. This observer for MC is getting into the base. No observer for WhiteRa to be able to pick that off. If he did manage to get this observer, that would be huge. It puts the build so far behind, and with only 1 observer on the field, I mean, that could really, really muck up what MC is doing. Even as a probe over here could lay down another pylon if he so desires. And still no observer coming out of WhiteRa, having a warp prism and gravitic drive. Not even Colossus coming on. He's getting that warp prism speed, and that could prove to be a big problem. And now even moving out of his main base right as the Stalkers for MC begin pushing up, and the Stalkers are going to get right into the main base, see exactly what's going on, and begin picking up probes. Needs to get those units back as quickly as possible, but no, he's just pushing out across the map instead. It doesn't look like WhiteRa is trying to deny this at all, and he's going to be losing quite a few probes here, going to do something. I'm not exactly sure. Finally falling back. I'm not exactly sure what WhiteRa is thinking at this point. Did warp a couple of zealots into the main base to try to deny this as long as possible. I do think that he did get 1 stalker, warping in a couple of more zealots. That's just going to buy him time to go ahead and trying to deny the blink back down to the low ground. But there is not going to be a blink onto the low ground because there's nothing to force the blink onto the low ground. And finally, they're now forcing the blink onto the low ground after he pulled his units back up the cliff. WhiteRa definitely lost a little bit right there. 14 workers actually lost quite a bit, which only puts MC a little bit ahead, as MC did have to cut quite a few probes for this build, for this 4-gate build. However, it's not over yet. A lot more aggression could be coming. Even has his own expansion up at this point, so there's going to be double probe production coming out of MC. WhiteRa falling quite a bit behind in this game. Where is that warp system? It's over here down in this I'm not exactly sure which base to call this, but down on the south side of the map, going to be dropping into the main base of MC. He's going to need to have a beautiful hold up in his own main base to be able to stop any sort of real damage. Look how fast that warp prism is though with that gravitic drive upgrade, and now a little bit of harassment going on by MC, but a little bit more going on by WhiteRa over in the main base. Going to try to be taking out this robotic facility. Not going to be able to get it with all the sentries picking away at the zealots. Did force the pull away, and now more zealots being warped into the main mineral line by WhiteRa. Beautiful harassment by WhiteRa, even getting a Colossus out onto the field now. So this is exactly the kind of counter harassment that he needed to do to be able to get back into this game. And over in the Workers Guild, now we see it has evened up a little bit, but not much. WhiteRa still quite a bit behind, and now quite a bit behind in that supply count as well. 30 to 23 supply in the harvesters. WhiteRa needs to make something happen with this first Colossus. Maybe even just get a second Colossus and do some sort of 2 Colossus timing push. Late 2 Colossus timing push. And WhiteRa, oh my goodness, might be caught a little bit out of position in the middle of the map here. And no, actually forces MC back with those 2 Immortals in his army there. We do have a pylon going into the backside of WhiteRa's natural base that's going to allow very quick harass out of MC, getting the warp prism back over in this unnatural 4th area. I'm not exactly sure what to call that still. Looks like there is going to be a little bit more harassment while the main army of WhiteRa pushes against the front. This could be it, as WhiteRa is on one base. He has to do a lot of damage here. If he doesn't win the game right here, right now, he could find himself in a world of hurt, losing that warp prism, only getting 1 unit dropped out of that. Going to go ahead and pop a Guardian Shield, push straight up the front here, but there's so much on the field for MC. I don't think it's going to be enough. Blinking up behind the army even, and that Colossus falls so quickly, and there's the GG. Well played out of WhiteRa. Just not able to do the damage he needed. And once again, as I was saying, MC, such a solid Protoss player, was able to pretty much just pick WhiteRa apart in that game. At no point, I think, was MC feeling all that pressured. I loved the gravitic drive out of WhiteRa. And his warp prism harass, I mean, that warp prism is so fast. Drop a few off in the main mineral line, come over to the natural mineral line, drop a couple off there. But it just wasn't enough, and it was quite a bit of an investment. 200 for the warp prism, another 100 for the gravitic drive, and 600 in total for zealots that got killed immediately, not really doing all that much damage. So WhiteRa just not able to do the damage he needed to in that game, and MC getting quite a few probe kills with the Stalkers. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining me here on the CoffeeCast ProCast edition. I am going to go ahead and sign off here. Please subscribe if you haven't already, and leave comments below. Tell me what I should do for my 5,000th 5,000th, that's kind of hard to say, view here on YouTube. Leave comments about the game or just about general life, because why not? Why not? I'm here to support you all. Thank you for watching this game. I'm going to go ahead and chill out because I just got back from vacation. So until next time, folks, this is Coffee Break, signing out.